Hey everyone, so you want to talk about the past in Spanish? I mean, of course you do, right? It's essential. Today, we're going to unlock a super important part of that, the preterit tense for regular AR verbs. And you know what the best part is? It follows this really simple, super predictable pattern. So let's just dive right in.
You know that feeling, right? You've got a great story you want to tell about last week, or maybe just what you did yesterday, but you get stuck. You know the verb, but how do you actually make it sound like it already happened? It's such a common roadblock for learners, but guess what? We're about to clear that path for good. All right, so the solution to this problem has a name. It's called the preterit. And honestly, you can just think of it as your secret weapon for talking about stuff that's already happened. You know, actions that are completely finished and in the past.
So what does completed action really mean? Well, it's basically for any event that had a clear beginning and a definite end. It happened, it's done, it's over, it's not for something that was happening. No, it's for something that happened. Bam! Think about all those things you checked off your to-do list yesterday or last week or even last year. That's what we're talking about.
Okay, this right here is the absolute key. The best way to get your head around the preterit is to think of it as a snapshot. You know, like with a camera. Click. It's not for describing what you used to do, like over a long, blurry period of time. No, it's for that single captured moment. I worked, she studied, they danced. Click. The action is done, and you've got the picture.
Okay, so how do we actually do this? How do we build this tense? Well, I've got some great news for you. For regular AR verbs, it's a super simple, almost like a mechanical process. It's just a three-step rule that works every single time. All right, let's break it down. It's super easy. Step one, you just start with the full verb. You know, the infinitive. Let's use hablar as our example. Step two, you just snip off that AR ending to find the main part of the verb, what we call the stem. So for hablar, it's hablar. And then step three, the magic part. You add the new special preterit ending that matches who did the action. That's literally it. And here they are. These are those special endings we were talking about. So for yo or I, you add an a, so you get hablé. For tu, you, it's haste, which makes hablaste. Okay, now listen up, because this is important. Look really closely at the yo and the el, ella, usted forms. See those little accent marks on hablé and habló? Those are not just suggestions. They're not optional. They totally change how you say the word and what it means. They are absolutely crucial. Okay, now for a little heads up. Let's look at the nosotros form, the we form. This is the one kind of tricky part. See how hablamos is the same for both the present tense, we speak, and the past tense, we spoke? So, how in the world does anyone know which one you mean? Well, it's all about context. You use little time words like ayer, which means yesterday. And that's the signal, that's the clue that you're talking about the past. All right, enough with the charts and the theory, right? It's great to know the rules, but seeing this stuff in real sentences, that's where it all really clicks. So let's see how this three-step pattern works with some super common verbs.
First up, we've got trabajar, to work, a verb I think we're all pretty familiar with.
So let's say you want to say, I worked all day. You just take the stem, trabaj, you add that a ending for yo, and boom, trabajé. Yo trabajé todo el día. Simple as that. The working is done. It's a completed action.
Okay, next up, let's take a look at questions estudiar, which means to study.
And here's the ella form in action. Ella estudió. See it again? That accented O at the end? That tiny little mark is what gives the word its past tense punch. Her studying, it's finished. And for our last example, let's do a fun one. Bailar, to dance.
Here, we're seeing the eos form, bailaron. And check out that time phrase at the start of the sentence. Hace 2 días. That means 2 days ago. That phrase really locks the action, the dancing, down as a totally finished event in the past.
Okay, you've seen the rule, you've seen the examples. Now it is time to flip the switch from just listening to actually doing. Let's try a couple of quick practice questions to really make this stick. All right, here we go. First one, how would you fill in this blank? You need to say, you worked. So, take the verb trabajar and change it for tu. I'll give you a second to think about it.
So, did you get it? The answer is trabajaste. You just take trabajar, chop off the AR, and add that aste ending for tu. Perfect. You got this.
Okay, let's try one more. This time, we're using the verb bailar, and the person doing it is ella, or she. How would you fill this one in?
And the answer is bailó, with that all-important accent on the O. Remember? Ella bailó. Fantastic job. See? It's not so bad.
See? You've already got the pattern down. You now have this foundational tool to talk about, countless completed actions in Spanish. So what's the only thing left to do? Well, you gotta use it. Now, it's your turn to talk.
Look, the absolute best way to make this really stick in your brain is to actually use it. So here's a little challenge for you. Try to pick 5 regular OR verbs that you already know. Then, for each one, make 2 simple sentences using the past tense we just learned. And try to throw in some of those time words like ayer or anoche. I promise you, this is how you go from just knowing the rule to truly owning the skill.
And really, that's it. We started with that super simple question, how do you talk about what you did yesterday? Well, now you have the tool. You know how to do it. So I'm going to leave you with one final real-world challenge. The very next time someone asks you, so, what did you do yesterday? Try to answer them in Spanish. You can do it. Thanks for tuning in.